this is going to be a step, one stepping stone. The process development for business model innovation. Innovation is everywhere. Everywhere we have to look forward for innovation. Sometimes, out of sheer thought process, we can be able to gauge up the innovation process, upload those things. Shorting of the efforts, your efforts and money and time factor can be squeezed down, and we can be able to make our process short. Earlier, we are having Fortran, COBOL, Pascal. We are having long, you can say, programming languages. We have to write down long code. But now, the new advent, we have to make it very short. So these are the innovations. We feel that NW Development Center is doing the right thing to bring in the more experts over here who can be able to give a inspirational talk to the students over here of the institute. Basically, these students are the of the BBA and MBA, those who have already having their enterprises, family business management, and these students are definitely want to shape in the time to come. So, sir, this Technion Institute of Advanced Studies, uh, this is a 2 decade old institution set up in the 1998 onwards. It's to 2021. We are in the era of pandemic, era of COVID-19. Lot many innovations are coming up. Government has started the, you can say, award for the startups now. Award for the startups, and we feel that the student must lap up this opportunity because we are in the transition phase, and those students who can be able to understand this transition concept, where we are going to land up, what kind of things are going to transpire in time to come, how we have to upgrade ourselves vis-a-vis our competition. Of late, we have seen that all the institutions like Cozentric and other things where the call centers are there, they have been changed their destination from India to Vietnam and other areas because of the cheap, you can say, labor over there and the highly ascent English has been there for those students over there. So somewhere or the other, we have to play on our strength. We are technically more advanced in math and science students as far as our technicians are concerned. We are hardworking. We are English, having got the English knowledge, and plus something this part talking about the innovation. Here, a thinking manager is required who is going to understand the process, who is going to understand the nitty-gritty of the situation and transpires to make it small in case of the large one, small in efforts in time, in money, all these resources which are scarce. Every time we are having a scarce resources and we have to grapple with the resources, so resource should be optimally utilized. How we can be able to utilize our resources optimally. So process development for business model innovations, I feel, madam, the topic is more apt. It is in line with our IIC topic, which has been put forward by the Government of India and MIC. 700 student institutes have been selected by the initially for AICT. We are one of them as far as Institute Innovation Cell is concerned, council is concerned, and we want to make it a force to reckon with. And I feel that experts like you will be definitely going to shape, and by your effort, we will be able to realize our dreams. So you are one of the star in our panel. One more star we have added, one more feather in the cap we have added as far as intermediate cell is concerned in our series of lectures we are conducted over here by Rashmi Gujarati, and I feel that you must be able to get the students enlightened with your wisdom component so that they can be able to do and bring in laurel for the country and for us. Thank you very much, and please, the all stage is yours, Rashmi Gujarati, and guest over here from the University, Dr. Rakshit Kala. Thank you.
Good morning, Director Sir, Technia Institute of Advanced Studies, our guests, faculty members, and my dear students. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend a very warm greetings on behalf of Technia Institute of Advanced Studies. I, Dr. Kirti Miglani, feel privileged to welcome you all in this webinar on the topic Process Development for Business Model Innovation. So today we'll be having with us Dr. Parikshit Kala, Head of Entrepreneur Development Cell, Department of Commerce and Management, Zee University, Dehradun. He is having specialization in area of ticketing, logistics, supply chain management, etc. Currently, he is teaching BBA and MBA students and guiding research scholars as a guide and a member of RDC. He is having diverse job experience and attended various workshops, seminars, and conferences, and published various research papers as well. So now I kindly request Dr. Parikshit Kala sir to talk about the process development for business model innovation.
Thank you, ma'am. Before starting the topic, I want to express my thanks and gratitude to Rashmi ma'am, Director sir, HOD sir, and all colleagues of Technikia Institute in Delhi for providing me this opportunity to speak on this very important topic, which as few minutes before Director sir highlighted that this is the current policy of our government nowadays to see that more and more entrepreneurs are produced in our country, and for that they have given different schemes, and IIC, as he mentioned, is also one of that platform through which we can guide our students wherever they are. And just to tell that what is the different process and how tomorrow if they want to become an entrepreneur, how they can follow these processes, and they can also be one of the successful entrepreneurs of their areas. So this is my 8th to 9th lecture in the country which I am giving to the IIC cell. From last 2-3 months, I have been giving such lectures to different IIC cells in South Indian universities, in some colleges of West India. And recently I gave 10 days before on the same topic, I gave a lecture to core students in Roorkee, that is College of Engineering Roorkee, which is one of the very prestigious institutions in the country. They also are operating this IIC model, and the same topic there also was given to me. So now I will start my topic. So I have placed my topic into two different segments. Where first, because I'm talking to the students, and I can say in this way that I'm talking to the future entrepreneurs, as I call my students whenever I teach them, that I hope that if I could able to clear your doubts, to mentor you about this topic. So first I will be speaking on the qualities. What are the qualities which are needed in an entrepreneur who wish to start the business, or who wish to start the innovation in his domain area? So for that, there are certain qualities which already you might have discussed in your theoretical papers. Generally, this is one of the paper which is being taught in BBA and MBA curriculum across the world. So as we all know, there are some special qualities which should be there in an entrepreneur before finally he or she they can start the innovation process, the development of a business model. So I have highlighted 4 very important qualities with this regard. The first quality is that, as sir also mentioned, that is the innovation, that is innovativeness. If you want to develop a project, a business project, so you must have an innovation in you. You must be very innovative. You must be a good thinker. By doing this, what you will do, you will be doing a part of research about that particular business in which in future you like to venture. So for that, what you will do, you will see what are the required methods, what are the required literatures available with you. By doing this study, you will come to know that what will be the challenges, what will be the methods which you will be facing while developing this business model. So that is the innovative. So innovativeness and inclusiveness is one of the quality which must be there in an entrepreneur. Then comes, because we are speaking on innovation nowadays, so new products. We have to see students that how we can venture in those areas of business innovations which are still untapped in our country, or we can say that which are still very new in somewhat sense in our country. And youngsters like you, they are taking the challenges by opening small businesses, and even some of my own students whom I trained in last 8 to 9 years through this cell in the university. Very happy to share that around 30 to 40% of my students, they themselves have become entrepreneurs and they are doing very well in their different entrepreneurial projects. So somewhere you have to tap the new markets, you have to tap the new businesses. Then comes the third very important quality, that is the accepting challenges. Because see, very frankly, I speak to the students on this topic that if you want to become an entrepreneur, so you must be, accustomed in your personality in such a way that the challenges will come in front of you, and these challenges will be on different platforms, on different fronts. There can be some family challenges also, there can be some official challenges also, and there can be some monetary challenges also. Uh, there are some different processes which I will be discussing further in my lecture. But these challenges, you will have to be very tough. Mentally, you will have to be very tough. As my experience goes, wherever I went and wherever I received the feedback from the young entrepreneurs in the country, maximum of them, they just told me that, sir, initially, first 2 to 3 years, lots of challenges came in front of us. Even there were some challenges where we were shortage of funds. We had a good project with us. Even some government agencies, they were funding us, but due to the implementation was very slow, so the funding was very slow to them. So somewhere this postponed their project from 6 months to 1 year. So such challenges will come, but an entrepreneur always accept the challenges and he makes his and her way, right? So I will advise you, please be very challenging in nature. Try to learn about the process properly. Then we will go to the next topic, which is very important. Uh, there should be, apart from these qualities, there must be some managerial and technical competencies also, which are required by the innovation institution of innovation cell. It required by HRD practices also. They have opened these cells, as sir was mentioning, through AICT framework across different institutions in the country. Similarly, UGC, what they have done, because I am in an university, so they have also developed these cells as EDC cells, that is the entrepreneurship development cells, in different universities in the country. So I, being very fortunate one, that the Honorable Vice Chancellor of my university, he has given this responsibility to me since the inception of my EDC cell in 2018 at my university. So we are 7 members of this cell, and I am heading this cell as a member secretary, as a coordinator. Also, I am heading the Department of Commerce and Management. So it was really a challenging task for me also to start this cell in the G University. But slowly, till 2019 to 20, we started developing some small projects. And very soon, 2 of our projects, they are in line of getting the patent. Both were made by our students in assistance to our different faculty members and different stakeholders. So even such projects, even you can start in your institute, and I am always available to assist all of you if you require any of my help from time to time. And there are some funding agencies also which fund these projects, minor projects, as per the cost. Major projects, how much big the project is, what is the dimension, what is the area in which the project has to be ventured. So there are some skills, technical skills also. You must be well versed with the technology advancements. You must know how to operate a system. You must know how to be net friendly, how to review the different processes which are framed by the government when it comes to the underlying different licensing procedures, underlying different permissions which are to be required prior to submission of the project to the regulatory body. So managerial skills are also needed, and that you are already being taught in your UG and PG management programs in your institutions. So now it has come just how you have to implement them practically when it comes to entrepreneurship or business innovation models. So initially, whenever we plan any new innovation in a business, we first make a plan. We first plan in advance that, okay, what should be our business? What should be our core area? Okay. So for that, there are different bodies. One such body is NISBUD, NIESBUD, NISBUD. That is National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development in India. It is a central government institution under Ministry of Industry, which is formed to promote such projects, and they are very kind enough to always provide funding opportunities to young students like all of you. One of my research scholar who is doing his PhD under me in marketing, he is project manager at NISBUD in Dehradun office. So many times in collaboration with our EDC cell, he has organized some entrepreneurship awareness program for my students in our university from time to time. And in these programs, they call their experts, and there are multiple experts which generally come to guide our students through EDC cell mechanisms, where what they are doing, they are taking different people who are either directly associated with an entrepreneur or who are indirectly associated with an entrepreneur. So a bank manager is also coming with them. Young entrepreneurs, they are also inviting them so that they can share their experiences to the students, that how they made a business, how they innovated in their business. So it's a 2 to 3 days program. So I will share the detail to Rashmi madam someday of Birender Sajwan, my engineer, project manager, researcher of NISBUD. So they can organize such programs in your institution also, because they are the specified government body who are funding these projects from last many years in the country. Another very good benchmark which they are doing under Skill India movement, under Make in India initiative, which our Honorable Prime Minister has initiated a few years before. So business plan, how you have to make a business plan. So this is the start of a process, and it will be guided by the experts when they come before venturing in any new business, that आप करना क्या चाहते हो, कौन सा business आप start करना चाहते हो. Okay, so these people, they are called there, and they guide you properly. Then when you make a business plan, then the next process is, should I start my own business or I buy a business? Okay. So see, there is a difference between both these questions. Should I start my own business or I buy a business? So if you, in true sense, you want to innovate in business, you want to do something new to the country, something new to the entrepreneurship. So then this question should be reversed. I always tell the students, it must be, yes, I can do the business. So that confidence level will come. Okay. And then there are different people, there are different stakeholders who are there to help us from time to time. So first is, I will start a business. This is the process. Then will come, how is market behaving currently? You must have a knowledge about the market also. Like during the corona pandemic, whole 1.5 years, we all have witnessed uh, the challenges, different challenges, which even has come on the business front, on the business challenges across the world. Many of the people, they lost their jobs, settled jobs in different parts of the world. And for some people who lost their jobs, as one of my friend in Mumbai, he lost his job in US, in Los Angeles, during the corona pandemic. And when he came back to India, he started his own small business, a retail store near Mumbai, along with his family companions, along with his some friends there. And last week, when he was narrating me his experience post Corona, so he was telling me that because I was in a very settled job in US, but when I lost the job and I came return back to my country, my space, so I thought, why not to take it as a boon? Whatever has happened, okay, let me change my mindset. And he started a very small retail store near Mumbai with some mere investment which he had. He had saved for the contingency purposes. So now he is giving me good feedback that during Corona also the store has run very well, and he is happy that by this he has opened a small business model for him. So there are many people like my friend who when they lost their jobs, they were dejected, but again they came back, they bounced back because of this skill, this challenging skill, that is entrepreneurship. Then the third question will be asked after the market survey when you make a project, that is how much will be the costing of the project. इस प्रोजेक्ट की, इस बिजनेस मॉडल की लागत कितनी आएगी, एक्सपेंसेस कितने होंगे. So here also agencies like NISBA, agencies like MSME, that is micro, small, medium enterprises. It's a separate ministry made by government, which is helping the micro industries, the small industries, the medium industries from last many years by giving them project assistance, by giving them financial assistance, by providing them informations from time to time through organizing different EDP workshops, which we generally call it as entrepreneurship development cell workshops. Then there is a very good institute in Ahmedabad. 4 years before, I got an opportunity to visit IIM Ahmedabad for a conference. And there, when I was there in IIM Ahmedabad campus, so one of the faculty member, he has joined me in that conference from EDI, that is Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, which is in Ahmedabad. And it is a premier institution of the government of India, where they are focusing more on the entrepreneurship advancements in the country. And even they are running some PG diploma programs in entrepreneurship management, where they are training young students like all of you, especially for the entrepreneurs. So their main intention is to see that tomorrow the students, rather than going for the jobs, rather than going for the job seekers, they go for job givers. So they change their role from job acceptance to job providence. Like they are be providing more jobs. So they will be themselves the co-owners. They will be themselves the owner of the such organizations. So costing is also a very important thing. Then first, always start with a small business. Okay, I have seen many of the students in my career where I have seen that they have been misguided by someone. They have invested lots of money and they wanted to start with a big thing. So please, students, is my advice to you: always start with a small business and slowly, steadily grow your business. Then you will see around the span of 5 to 10 years, automatically you will find the difference that you had grown your business. Like some of my students, some of my friends who are themselves entrepreneurs, so they give this feedback to me from time to time. Right. So first focus on the small business. And for that, again, please see that you are having that much saving with you. You are having that much funding with you. Because initially monetary constraints, they will come. They come in everybody's projects when they start new. All right. So now we will see how basically a business model functions. Uh, what are the different parameters? What are the different variables which should be kept in mind before starting a business venture? So first, this is my sermon to all the students. Plan realistically, not optimistically. Okay, don't be in dreams. Okay, don't be in more optimism. Don't be overconfident whenever you are starting a project or whenever you are planning to start a business. So first, see your pocket. First, see what is the investment you are having, and then relate that investment with the project, the opportunity which you are seeing for yourself, seeing for your parents, seeing for your country, seeing for your institution. Right. So for that, first you must have the balanced knowledge about your monetary funds. Once you know the knowledge about your monetary funding, then don't overestimate your profits. Initially, there can be less profits, and even there can be one situation which generally come in maximum entrepreneurs' life when they are very new to any such innovations, and that is what is that? That is uh, lack of funding, and uh, they are working in break-even point for some months. Even it sometimes even it goes to a single year, can go to 2 years, where BEP means whatever they have invested, that much only they are getting, no profit, no loss situation. So for that, there also your patience level, your confidence level as a entrepreneur student will be tested through times. Some of I have seen some of my own students who have accepted these challenges initially, but down the line, what they did, as soon as there were some cost issues with them, there were some funding issues with them, they got demotivated, and they closed their business. They shut down their business, and they again went for banking jobs, or they went for some government jobs, or they went for some other jobs. So such attitude will never help you to become a innovator. As I mentioned at, at the start of my lecture. Right now, what are the different sources? Banks, they provide loans. Uh, Even some banks, they are providing the loans under Skill India initiative, where they are not even charging any collateral security, right? From any student or any young like you, when they are applying for such loans for such entrepreneurial projects or business projects. So banks are also playing a very important role. So such institutions like NISBET, ETI, MSME, when you apply for any project, they have different tie-ups with nationalized and private banks in our country. So there are some experts from the banking industry also who sometimes they guide from time to different students, to different young entrepreneurs about the process, how you can easily apply. I remember 15 years before, 20 years before, it was very difficult to take a loan from a bank. But now, thanks to the government policies, now it is reverse. You don't have to go to the bank. Bank will come you for the loan. Okay, as they visit different campuses, they visit different universities, teaching institutions for the education loans. Similarly, they are also providing the business loans, opportunities for the youngsters. Now, growth pressures. Yes, when you will go for any innovation, the growth pressures will be there on you. Because when you are investing in some project, in some business, so that thing comes in your mind that how long I have to wait for my returns. When the adequate returns will be coming to me, so that it will again remotivate me. Again, I can invest some more money and make my business from a small unit business, from a small unit innovations to a middle level or to a medium level innovation. So that growth pressures will be there, and you can control these growth pressures by these 5 important parameters which just I am sharing. First is optimization of the resources. Whatever resources you will be using in your venture for setting up business model, please see that your minimum wastage comes through these resources. I have seen many people when they start doing the business, they don't check the wastage mechanism more. So lots of wastage is increasing. So when your resources will be more waste at the initial level of your business, so definitely that costing imbalance will, and you will be in losses. So for that you have to take an advice of a finance manager, take an advice of a bank manager, take an advice of some expert. Okay, so they can guide you well how to manage your different resources properly. Then come who will be with you, whether you will be a sole proprietor, whether you will be the single owner of this business, or whether you will be one of the partners. You will be doing this innovations as a partnership business. 3 of my students, they did MBA under me 3 years before from the same university, G University, and they came from Saranpur in UP, and they had this thing in mind that we will do something new for our village. I remember one of the student among 3. That time he had been selected for a Baiju app job in Mumbai for a 10 lakhs package, annual package. He was from MBA marketing, but he refused the offer. He told, नहीं सर, मेरे माइंड में है कि मैं अपने गांव में जाकर जो भी मेरे पास थोड़ी सेविंग है, मैं कुछ अपने गांव के लोगों के लिए कुछ कर सकूं अंडर स्किल इंडिया मूवमेंट. So I guided him through NISBAT. Birender was very cooperative, the project manager. He also helped my student to make that particular project and getting it approval from the state government. And now I'm very happy to disclose to all of you today, so that you all students will be motivated from Rakesh, that my student whom I'm quoting now. He has developed a small internet cafe, a small, you can say, IT center in his village, where now he is running some Skill India courses of the government under that particular center. And I just received a call a few days before from him that he has employed around 7 to 8 employees with him. Now you can see the 2018 he did his MBA, and within this 2.5 years time, he has opened this call center in his village. So see, this is really, this is a good example of entrepreneurship. Because lots of challenges he also faced. His parents were very angry when he shared to his father that he wants to go for a business. He don't want to go Mumbai for joining for the job. Baiju, you all know it's a very good app. Nowadays it is one of the very good apps to work. But he refused. So you see, you must have such type of challenging nature. Then you can start from the base by following the different processes. Right? Now I will discuss to you some methods, some steps which are needed when you talk about the process development of a business model. Right? So these are the main criteria which now I am just sharing. So I have summarized it into 6 steps. Okay, 6 methods, 6 proper processes. You all will follow. You will never find any problem, and slowly you will be developing your business. Slowly you will be developing your innovations. First, clear plan of execution. Okay, you must not be in 2 minds. 2 माइंड में नहीं रहना है आपने. ठीक है, अगर आपने कपड़ों का कारखाना स्टार्ट करना है या आपने कोई IT सेंटर या कोई इंटरनेट कैफे स्टार्ट करना है, या आपने कोई पोल्ट्री फार्म स्टार्ट करना है, या कोई भी अगर आइडिया आपके मन में, तो दैट मस्ट बी क्लियर. ओके, फिर आपको डिविएट नहीं होना. ये नहीं कि किसी दोस्त ने कह दिया यार इसमें तो पैसा कम है या इसमें रिटर्न्स कम है, so you are going on changing your main area, so that will leave you in no man's land. तो आप उस टेंशन में फंस जाएंगे जाकर, जहां आप क्या होगा, टाइम भी आपका वेस्ट हो जाएगा. तो सबसे पहले आपको क्लैरिटी लाना बहुत जरूरी है कि हाँ, यस, दिस इज माय कोर एरिया, this I will be doing, right? So please plan that properly. Then you tie up with these agencies, which I just told you again and again. And I will be sharing all the contact numbers. I will be sharing all my references to Rashmi ma'am and your teachers there, so that they can be in direct contact with these people, and they can come directly to your institutions and help all of you regarding the funding opportunities, regarding the project approvals, regarding the preparation of the projects, right? So I will be very happy if some of the students from your batch, you can be one of the entrepreneurs and take our country to the new horizons in the future. All right. So this is also one of the very important step which I discussed. Now I will move to the next step. That is have depth knowledge about the business. ठीक है, half-hearted knowledge is always dangerous. That will again develop lots of problems in your career when it comes to innovations. तो जिस भी क्षेत्र में आपने जाना है, जो भी आपका डिजायर्ड बिजनेस है, उसके बारे में अच्छी सी जानकारी रखिए. दैट इज इन रिसर्च वी जनरली कॉल इट एज रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर, जिसमें हम कुछ नया रिसर्च करने से पहले हमसे पहले किन किन लोगों ने क्या क्या काम किया है उस एरिया में, उनके बारे में पढ़ते हैं. राइट. तो उससे क्या होता है, देयर आर टू थिंग्स व्हिच कम. वन इज द मोटिवेशन, and then they because they themselves have gone through the same procedures down the line, so they guide us well for that. And here the role of agencies like NISBAT, agencies like EDI, agencies like MSME, it comes when they organize the different orientation programs in different institutions in our country for all of you. Right. Now the next important point here is what should be the funding, initial funding. Wherever I go and deliver my talk on this area, maximum students, they ask me this common question, that sir, how much should we have as an investment to start our business? So, nobody can answer this point. See, theoretically, I can tell you the different schemes which are running under the government, but I have seen many of such people in my life who have started their business from 30,000 rupees, who have started their business from 50,000 rupees, who have started their business from around 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees, and later on within 3 to 5 years they have multiplied their business 3 to 5 times. So if you have a very good attitude, if you have a very good skill, and if you are good in innovating, so Skill India movement in our country has produced lots of such individuals who even we get motivated when we see them. Now I will share my own experience with you, where I was very lucky to be one of the delegates in 2018 Skill India Conference Summit, which was organized in New Delhi by MSME Ministry. It was at Teen Murti Bhavan in 2018, where I was representing G University EDC cell, around 500 delegates, which were called from different EDC cells, different IIC cells from the colleges. And we were there for 3 days, and it was complete government sponsorship summit, where we were interacting with some young entrepreneurs of our country. So I remember 2 of such entrepreneurs. One she was from Chennai, a girl, very young girl, around 22 to 23 years of age, and another this boy who was from UP, one of the remote areas near Hardoi district in Uttar Pradesh. So why they both were called for the Young Innovation Award, which was to be given by the Honorable Minister to both of them for their business innovations in their rural segment of the country. So when I met these both students, they shared their experiences. Now let me share the qualifications of both the students to you, so you can also get motivation after hearing that how they could manage the business. So this girl, she was only 12th pass from the Tamil Nadu board, and she was doing her BA course through correspondence through Anna University Center, Correspondence Center in Chennai. And you know what innovation she did? She started the tailoring institute in her rural area, in her village, where she explained that only I had certain somewhere I had only 50,000 fund that time, but there were my family people, my parents, my friends, my even local village people. They were pradhans, they were the block members of the village. They also helped me in this venture. So she opened this tailoring institute, and when she was with us in the conference, she was now having such around 9 to 10 tailoring institutes in her village and nearby villages, where she had trained many of young girls, many of young boys like him, like her, and now they are also started the tailoring institute in their area. So she was being awarded by the ministry, by the minister, for her this advancement. Now she was narrating from the platform that now they are using the imported machines. So you can see that around this 9 to 10 years of phase, when she started a business innovation, now she is employing around 200 to 300 tailors, and all these are modern tailors. Like they are working on the imported machines. Okay, so this is called the real innovation. What Skill India, what Make in India initiative really expect from the youngsters, from the students like all of you. So I was very happy to meet her in that platform. We all were very motivated, and there were many students also who were coming in this summit. So they also took this positive experience, and later on they also started doing something new in their business innovations. Now this boy which came from UP, so what he did, he was from a barber family, where all three generations they were in the barber business. They had a saloon, small saloon, but he was graduating from a university in UP. He was doing BCom. He was in a BCom second year, and he also was doing through the correspondence. So why he was called there? Because he has innovated in the saloon, which was run by his father and his grandfather in the village. And what he did, he started innovating in the haircuts, and he tie up with some good brands, who were promoting his saloon institute. And now what he is doing, he was starting to innovate in such a way that the style of salooning, which was very new to the remote village of his area. People used to either travel to main cities. So he targeted that particular customer, and now they are not going to big cities like Lucknow, Allahabad, Kanpur. The stylish people who want to have a modern haircut. So now that same haircut he is giving in his own saloon, and you can see beta, this is also one of the very good innovations, like he did. And then he trained many young students like him in this modern haircut techniques, to develop the saloons from a traditional saloon model to the modern saloon model in a rural area environment. So Nisbat, SSI, MSME, all the different stakeholders, managers, their funding agencies, they had come to attend the Skill India Summit, and they were also being praised by the Honorable Minister for MSME and the I remember at that time Amod Khan Saab was the chairman of Niti Aayog of our country, and he was also one of the panelists in that discussion. So he also told us about the different policies, the different funding given by the Niti Aayog to the entrepreneurship movement, to the Skill India movement in the country. It was really a very learning experience for a person like me, because I was very new in 2018 as a chief coordinator of the cell. So when I came back, I narrated this experience to my honorable vice chancellor sir, my registrar sir, and all my senior management. And I took a special session to the faculty members and the students of my university. And from since that, I have seen that many of my students, they had taken it as a challenge that if they both can do, why not we cannot do? And they have started. So it's my request to all of you students that please now, as the director sir in his keynote address, uh, he told that now the paradigm shift is being changed. Gone were the days when people like me, sir, when we were in our colleges, ma'am, when we were in our colleges. That time there were very few people, few of our friends who, after graduating from DU in '98, I did my BCom course from Delhi University in '98, BCom pass course. So I remember that time, maximum of my friends, we had this that okay, now we are BCom, so either we will go for some job or we will go for a MBA program, because MBA that time was a very good program, and lots of people, lots of youngsters like me and many of my friends, they were fascinated to do the MBA at that time. But very few of my friends, we had this ability that okay, why not we can start a small business in Delhi. So now that shift has been changed, and thanks to our different government policies, thanks to our different government initiatives under Make in India, we are very proud that we are also one of the people who are attached to this Make in India initiative in our different institutions, where now we are training our students in such a way that they don't go for job taker, but they go for job giver. Okay, so these are some steps. I'm sharing some of the real cases also in my lecture, so that you all get motivated. Now, so these were some positive things, some positive parameters which will be required by you from time to time. Now I will share some limitations also. See, in entrepreneurial traits or in entrepreneurship ventures, always remember one thing: there will not be always bed of roses. There will be more bed of thorns. By this proverb, I want to say that you will have to work very hard. You will have to accept lots of challenges, and limitations can come from different walks of the society. The biggest limitation which I am seeing, and sometimes I had even intervened with my students, even I had to sometimes, interact with their parents, especially of my girl students, because some of my girl students also wanted to do something new, something innovation, but as the mindset of our society that their parents, their elder brothers, their uncles, they did not allow them to go for a business. On the other hand, they told them to go for a settled job and later on, settle them life. So such problems even they can come to you also. So you must be trained in such a way that how you will cope these limitations. There had been many people, many youngsters, many graduates who, in spite of different family challenges which they faced in their life, still they somewhere managed to develop the business. I really salute such individuals, and I'm really proud that they are the real persons who are taking our country from a developing economy very soon, whole world is eyeing India, and thanks to our honorable Prime Minister, thanks to our different stakeholders who are now, innovating with more and more such models where patents are coming. And patents is again also a very important thing, because now we are looking for quality patents. Gone were the days when some people, only for the namesake, only for the reputation sake, they were going for more and more patents. But those patents, when they were going in the global arena for the competition, and they were not being judged on the quality parameters. So all the different money involved was just waste. Okay. So no, now we have, if we are applying for 2 good patents, I also guide my students, okay, don't go for multiple patents. You only target a single patent, but you target it in such a way that tomorrow when the patent will come out, so it will give something to the society. Because whenever we are innovating, whenever we are going for any business model, so we have to see that it is for the betterment of the society, it is for the betterment of the economy.
Thank you very much, and you have given a very excellent presentation, and I think that you have motivated the students, and student will get a way how they can become an entrepreneur. And definitely, we and my staff member would like to meet you, and we will invite you in the college when the world will be open, and when
Yes.
we are able to move from our place to university
Right.
and institutions, because we are in Delhi, so you are in Dehradun, and definitely we will invite you in our college.
Yes.
So your speech was very nice, and now Dr. Kirti.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Ashutosh sir is there. Please call.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Now I would like to invite Dr. Ashutosh Bajpai for a vote of thanks.
Thank you, madam. Once again, good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. Ashutosh Bajpai, and I am here to present the vote of thanks for today's lecture webinar. First of all, I would like to thank our guest lecture webinar speaker, Dr. Parikshit Kala, Head of Entrepreneur Development Cell, Department of Commerce and Management, Z University, Dehradun, for delivering and enlightening us with their knowledge on process development for business model. Now, today's lecture was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. And the points where Dr. Parikshit Kala told us about the innovation, new products, and challenges. Wonderful sharing that whenever you think to start an entrepreneur business, challenges will be there, but you have to overcome those challenges. And was very really informative. And I'm pretty sure about the precious knowledge that Dr. Parikshit Kala gave us will definitely help us in our studies and future. And once again, I would like to thank Sir for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And I would like to thank our director, Dr. Ajay Kumar, for giving permission to organizing this lecture session and inviting Dr. Parikshit Kala to conduct it. I want to thank the whole team of Technia who really worked hard to make it a event successful. I also thank you all the students present here for paying your attention and learning. And I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Dr. Rashmi Gujarati for her efforts. And I would like to express our sincere thanks to Honorable Chairman Sir, Dr. R.K. Gupta, for giving full support and encouragement. I wish to express my gratitude to Dr. Jitin Rai for providing technical support. And I would also like to acknowledge and gratitude to Almighty God. बिना उसकी अनुमति के तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. और अंत में मैं एक बात ये बोलूंगा, नहीं प्रकृति के सहयोग के बिना और ईश्वर की अनुमति के बिना तो कुछ संभव नहीं है. तो उसका तो पहले धन्यवाद देता हूँ. और फाइनली मैं बोलता हूँ एक बात को, गुरु ब्रह्मा, गुरु विष्णु, गुरु देवो महेश्वरा, गुरु साक्षात परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरु नमः. देखिए, हम हर जगह से कुछ ना कुछ सीख सकते हैं और कंटिन्यूसली वी शुड फोकस ऑन दिस कंटिन्यूअस लर्निंग, और जो हमें हर जगह से मिल सकती है. एंड आई वुड लाइक टू एंड माय स्पीच हियर एंड थैंक यू वंस अगेन. थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर गिविंग योर प्रीशियस टाइम, एंड थैंक यू कला साहब, and thank you Rashmi madam. No doubt she takes too much pain for our students, especially MBA students के लिए बहुत पेन लेती हैं, and she keep on conducting such webinar.
जी सर,
Once
जी
again,
सर,
thank
जी
you.
सर।
Thank you very much for your kind words. And this is the teamwork, and our whole team is working very well. So this thanks goes to Technia team who are working very hardly. And special thanks to Dr. Parikshit. He has given his precious time for our students. And thank you to Director Sir who has allowed us to conduct this program. And whole thanks that our chairman sir is specially motivating us to organize these kind of events so our students can come and they can become a job creator, not a job seeker. Thank you very
Right.
much, Dr. Parikshit sir. You have given your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Wish you all very happy and safe Holi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.